Hi, Raven here. Just before we get started, if you find this video useful or you just enjoyed watching, then please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you wish to support me further, there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description. Thanks very much. One last thing, you can now make requests in my Discord channel. There's a link for it on this YouTube channel. Now back to it. The last video I did had two different endings and I didn't want to go through it in that tutorial and make it even longer, so that's what this tutorial is going to cover: how to create custom multiple endings. So this little demo I've got here, we're basically going to have two endings. We're going to have an ending if we accidentally kill a civilian. It's going to end the mission, and the mission's also going to end if we kill the high value target. So what we'll do is I'll just show you it in action. So we accidentally kill the civilian. Objective failed. Civilian casualties are unacceptable. And then it will go to the debrief. So civilian casualties are unacceptable. You're supposed to be protecting them. Okay. So now if we try that again and kill the HVT. HVT killed. Mission complete. And the debriefing. HVT kill has been confirmed. So how we do that, we've just got a trigger here. So whatever your trigger is to end that mission, so in this case this trigger is when C1 is not alive, so this guy's C1, and this one is when E1 is not alive, so this guy's E1, civilian 1, enemy 1. And that's the condition. So when he's not alive, fire this trigger, and on activation we will fire this. So end 1, that's the ending type. So there are a number of different endings. There is killed, loser, and I use end 1 and it goes up to end 6. So you just use end 1 to end 6. Gives you 6 different options then. So yeah, this little line here, the only thing you need to change is this bit here. So this one's end 1, and if we go in here, this one's end 2. So it'll fire ending 2. Now you can use the modules. So if we go over to systems and Intel, no, it's not Intel, it's scenario flow, end scenario. So if we drag one of those over, and if we go into it, so if you want to use the modules, leave that as it is, mission completed, custom status completed, leave that exactly as it is, and you just put in the custom type. So we're going to put end 1, and then we'll copy this trigger and we'll get rid of that bit. We still want the condition, so we still want it to fire when C1's killed, but instead of that, on activation, right click, connect, sync to end scenario. So that does exactly the same as this, so that's why I don't bother with this unless I'm doing something really quickly, like the last mission. It wasn't really important, but it's also nice to have that if you have got a lot going on in your map and you just want to see like the ending and which trigger is firing the ending. But there is another way to do that. So if you've got a bunch of triggers on your workspace and you want to know which one's the ending trigger, you just click on that, go to text, and just put ending civ killed, and there it's in your triggers, ending civ killed, so you can see what it is and you name all your triggers. It's probably a good practice to keep doing that. So now what we'll do is we'll go through how to set up in the mission folder. Right, we're in the mission folder. You can see, other than the mission SQM, I've got a description.ext and an images folder. So the images folder, all that has is my custom PAA file, and we'll go through that in a sec because it's in the description. So if we open up the description.ext, and these are the two endings. So you got there class end1, class end2, and if you wanted another ending, you just grab from there to there and paste in another one there, and we'd call that one N3. So just make sure it's inside this bit here. So let's go through it. So here I've told you what the classes are. So there's killed, loser, N1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I just, like I said, I use N1 to 6, it's just easier. And the first line is the title, so that is the big font. So typically if you don't do a custom ending, it will just say mission completed or mission failed, but in this instance you can have it say whatever you want. So the subtitle is the slightly smaller black box that's underneath this title, and we get to customize that as well. It's obviously relevant. So objective failed, I just put it in there instead of mission failed, just so you could see it was something different. And this is kind of like a abbreviation of what's gone on. So civilian casualties unacceptable. The description is what you see in the debriefing section. After this bit here has disappeared, you'll then get the debriefing. So there you can go into a bit more detail. So civilian casualties are unacceptable, you're supposed to be protecting them. The next one is the picture background. So if you don't want any picture, all you have to do is get rid of everything in between these two quotations, just leave it like that. But I've got my own personal picture in there. I've put a little note there so you can do one yourself. That is the size you want to stick to. So 1024 by 512 pixels, and you want to have it as a PAA file. So if you want me to go through how to do that, let me know. The next one is the picture. So this is the little icon that's on top of these two title blocks. It's like a on this one it was like a first aid kind of symbol, and on this one here it was like a skull. So KIA is the skull, and Lock Hill is like the little first aid kind of symbol. And I've put here a little link. So if you put that link in your browser, that will take you to the up to there. That will take you to the markers, so you can choose what symbol you want. And then when you're at this site, I'll put a little note there. Use the class column names, because there's a bunch of different names, different columns with different names, so it might be a bit confusing. So just use the column that has class on it. Okay. Now picture color, that is the color of the little icon. So you see mine was both my White Raven background turquoise colour, and these are the RGB colours. So to get these colours, if you want a custom colour, then what you do, as I've put here a little note, you divide the RGB value by 255, and then that gives you these values here. So I hope that makes sense. And that's it. So what I'll do is I will put this mission in my Dropbox so you can download it. That way you've got the description ext and my image to play about with if you want it. And I will also put that line that was in the mission so you can copy and paste that out of the trigger. Okay, hope that was helpful. Alright, good luck.